a few more machines which were subjected to very interesting implementation attacks. So the first one I'm going to show you is, who knows what is loading? Who knows what this is? Do you see it? Because I can't see it. Something is going to appear here pretty soon.
You use it to open your car.
Yes, yes, but why can't I see it? Okay, so you can see it. So this is a car key. Very good. So somehow you can see it and I can't. This is a car key. So there is a secret key inside the car key. You use it to authenticate to the car, and there are side channel attacks on how to recover the secret key inside the car. And the catastrophe is that once you discover the secret key, you can not only break into your car, you can break into a lot of other cars. So this is this one. Who knows what this one is? You can write in the chat. What is this? Yeah, this is a transport card for London, indeed, Ravkav. That is correct. It is what is called a stored value card. It has a very basic computer which has numbers in it. And of course, I would like to take the train for free. And this device doesn't want me to take the train for free. It has also all sorts of encryption. And again, the encryption could be really good. It's not so good. But if it was good, there was a very interesting attack by two researchers from Germany, Carsten Noll and the other guy who wasn't Carsten Noll. That's the curse of doing something with Carsten Noll, I guess. And they did something very interesting, interesting implementation attack, which I might have time to show you today. What is this? What is this? Xbox, not just a regular Xbox. This is the Xbox 360. And Xboxes are very interesting devices. They have the computing power of a PC with acceleration and network access, and they have like basic Intel x86 architectures, and you can develop using Windows. But they are sold for very, very cheap. Why are they sold for very cheap? Because how does Microsoft make money? They make money from selling games, and they also make money from Xbox Live, from like the Disneyland, the Garden, Xbox Live. They sell subscriptions, indeed. And what do people like to do? They want to do their own stuff on the Xbox. And the three communities who want to do that are, first of all, people who want to play games for free. Second, pirates, indeed, pirates, because this one is they have a Blu-ray decoder and HD DVD player. So if you can hack this, you can copy movies. And the third are all sorts of extreme left-wing Linux heads who have extreme views of ownership and digital rights, and they say, if I paid for it, I own it. And they are also scientists who want to run Linux on these and those sorts of computations. And all of these came together. And if you can actually read a very, very interesting book by a very, very interesting person called Bunny Wang, and the book is actually in the public domain, and you can read about the history of Xbox hacking and also about the reason that this book is public domain. Very interesting, but I don't have time for it. But the Xbox 360 had a nice piece of protection which prevented it from running unregistered firmware, for example, Linux or whatever. And the way it worked, some part of it was using a function called memcompare. And memcompare is a completely secure function which gets two inputs. One of them is the expected integrity value, and the other one is the hash of the firmware you're calculating. And then it returns true if they're correct, and then you can boot, or false if they're incorrect, and then you cannot boot. So you can read about it. I don't have time to go into this. But if an attacker measured how long it took for memcompare to fail, and from that got all sorts of interesting stories about what's going on inside the Xbox. Very fascinating. And now the last one I want to show you here is, what is this? Does anybody know what this is? A CPU? No, it's not a CPU. What is this? An FPGA. Very good. FPGA, yes. So an FPGA is what's called a field programmable graphic gateway. This is a piece of hardware that can be programmed to act like various other pieces of hardware. So it can be, if you wanted to be a video decoder, or a very quick multiplexer, or some kind of switching system, or a filter, something like that. They are used in many pieces of equipment which aren't sold in the millions. So if you want to buy like 10,000 units of something, then you would have an FPGA inside. Amazon is now has machines, instances with FPGAs inside, because they're really good in doing stuff like transcoding video or stuff like that. Mining Bitcoin, I don't want to go into that. So people are selling, specifically Cisco, is selling their high-end routers with these Xilinxes inside. So let's assume I'm really impressed by the quality of engineering of Cisco, and I want to make a Cisco router for myself and maybe sell it because I like them so much. So I can look at the I can buy one and open it and look at what's inside. I can download firmware updates from the Cisco website, and I can copy the exact schematics, put them together, but it won't be able to work because the firmware that actually sets up the FPGA is encrypted. So it's stored on a piece of memory on the chip, which is to the side of this chip. And when this chip boots, it loads the encrypted firmware, decrypts it, and then configures itself. So even if and the key, you can't find out the key. The key is burnt into here using very sensitive and tamper-resistant methods. So there was a very interesting attack by Amir Moradi et al., which discovered how you can, using side channel attacks, recover the secret key inside the Xilinx device and completely break the encryption. So what is the common theme of all these things, and what is the story behind the course? So Gili, you should get ready with the music. Algorithms need to be implemented. Even if you have the most perfect and secure algorithm, you're not selling algorithms. You're not shipping algorithms. You're not attacking algorithms. You're attacking devices which have implementations of these algorithms. And even if you have the best algorithm, the ultimate algorithm, which is the one-time pad, if you break the implementation, you can break the algorithm, you can break the system catastrophically. And this is not only for encryption. I'll go into it a little bit. There are other things you can break using implementation attacks. And there are countermeasures, but you have to first convince the system architect. I'll talk about the system architect a little. So the system architect is this guy or lady who are assigned on the product. So let's assume you're working in a product team. So you are the cyber dude in the team, and there's also like a usability dude or lady, and there's like a graphics and a design and performance, and let's say you want to build, I don't know, you want to build a really cool ticket to get you into a concert, into Eurovision 2021, 2020. And this has to be, maybe it's like a badge, like a DEF CON badge, only for Eurovision. It has to be really cool and rainbows and sparkly, and it has to be cheap, and it has to be fun, and it has to work quickly because you want to go into the Eurovision, and it has to be secure because a lot of people want to go, but you don't want anybody to go in. So the system architect, the guy who writes the checks, the system architect is going to take all those features and make a product. And the sparkly guy is going to make really, really great sparkles, and the performance lady is going to make it really, really fast. And then you come as a security engineer and say, we have to make it 2 kilos heavy. You have to surround it with lead, and you will have to authenticate for 1 minute. You have to run a very secure protocol. And oh, you have to connect it to the power. So why don't we have a power outlet next to the entrance? So you will plug your ticket into the outlet, and then you will do 1 minute authentication. And then, of course, the system is completely useless. So we need to be very careful about the countermeasures. And the course is going to be talking about that. So with that, we're going to have a 10-minute break, and we'll have to have beautiful music courtesy of Gili, I think, right? Who volunteered to be the moderator. Is it
Yep.
Gili? Okay, so, and you are welcome to desecrate. Yes. Sorry, we want to go to, I think it's a slide.